Hello, and welcome to episode 10 of How Uncivilized. Yes, we are officially in double digits, something the Star Wars episodes never achieved. This week, we celebrate our success by taking a trip down memory lane and quizzing each other about our previous episodes. Feel free to play along, but most importantly, sit back and enjoy.
So that actually that completes this segment on Finn.
Mm-hmm.
And now we move on to the exciting quiz.
Quiz, indeed.
Instead of doing Spencer's bonus questions, and based on the fact that actually the amount of questions Charlie had for Finn was relatively small and non-expansive, really, we decided
and also the fact that this is our 10th episode, something to mark our 10th episode versary.
Exactly. Double digits here.
Here we go.
Exactly. So we've decided we were going to write a quiz based on each of our research for the other person. So Charlie's done a 5-question quiz based on the research he's done over the last 9 episodes. And I've also done a 5-question quiz based on my research over the last 9 episodes. And we're basically going to see how much the other one's remembered. So basically,
this should be fun.
Yeah. Who's really committed to this podcast and who's just in it for the money and the fame?
Who's really been putting in the hours here?
Exactly. Oh dear. To be honest, it's probably Charlie, but
we'll find out, won't we?
We certainly will. Without further ado, I assume we're going to do this, so we'll do one set of questions to one person and then move on to the next set to the other. So, Charlie, do you want to quiz me first?
Absolutely. Of course I do. I want to thoroughly quiz you, and I want to see you sweat. I want to hear the precipitation over the podcast.
Well, that's fantastic, mate. Well, I actually have 2 different sets of questions. One set if you're nice to me, and the other set's if you're awful, mate. They're basically impossible to answer questions,
I only have 1 set of questions, so clearly the answer is already inevitable.
All right, mate, let's bring it on. Hit me up, mate. Hit me up.
So, my first few questions are pretty simple in terms of their answer. They're more like one word or one thing, whereas when we get into it a bit more, I'm going to need you to explain things a bit more, to really ring your brain, Get all that Star Wars knowledge out of your ear holes. Okay. So, question 1. What is the name of Simon Pegg's character in The Force Awakens?
Is it Unkar Plutt?
That is correct. Well done.
Oh, thank goodness. I was thinking for a second, I have so many Star Wars names in my head. That could easily be like one of Kylo Ren's apprentices or whatever. I don't know.
I put that in specifically because you couldn't remember it last episode, so I was like, revenge time.
Mate, well, I listened to last episode. It's been embedded into my mind.
Ah, very nice. Okay, this next one is a throwback. So all the way back in episode 1 of How Uncivilized, we talked about the Knights of Ren and their emergence from the unknown regions. But what was the name of their ship?
Oh, we had a whole thing about this. Oh, I've got to remember this. I think it was the Buzzard.
I'll give you that. It was the Night Buzzard.
Oh, the Night Buzzard. Oh, okay, yeah. I think the Buzzard on its own would be pretty awful.
Yeah.
The Night Buzzard sounds really hardcore. The Buzzard just sounds awful.
We are the Knights of Ren. Here is our ship, the Buzzard.
No, I like, the Night Buzzard, yeah. No, okay.
Okay, so question 3. I feel like you're probably going to get this one because we've covered this one across quite a few episodes. So this one is, What was the actual cause of the destruction of the Jedi Temple?
Palpatine? It was Palpatine?
It was. That is correct.
No.
But what did he do?
He created a force storm, was it?
That is correct. Yeah,
that tore through the whole temple.
absolutely. Yeah, bang on. That's exactly what I was hoping for.
Oh.
I put force storm created by Snoke/Palpatine, but
good.
I'm glad you said Palpatine because ultimately Snoke he's a Palpatine.
His second name was Skywalker because apparently everyone's taking that name now.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're a Palpatine, you're also a Skywalker.
Oh yeah, you're everything you want to be.
Why doesn't she just keep the name? That's what I don't get. Like, what's wrong with the name? Yeah, it has bad connotations, but there's still, turn the name around, turn it into a force for good.
Your dad was a Palpatine, and he seemed like a pretty good guy. As we said in the last episode, he was the Forrest Gump of Palpatine clones. He was lovely.
They called him Simple Palps.
Oh man. Okay, so question 4. This is kind of a describe to me question. So I want you to talk about something for a while. What can you tell me about the planet Acto?
I mean, it's a water planet. It's got some islands on.
Yep. That's literally my first bullet point. So you nailed that one.
It is obviously it's where the first Jedi Temple was.
Yeah, nicely done.
Well, probably still is. I mean, no one's blown that up yet. I mean, I'm sure it'll come in another film. We'll have I don't know, star killer star base death of killing, and it'll be 10 planets that blow up 5,000 planets.
Yeah,
and then
5,000 planets on the other side of the galaxy. Completely unawares.
But yeah, I mean, how much information do you want? I mean, Rey, they basically have to piece together a map to find Luke living on there like a hermit. Obviously, that's where Luke is.
Where is it located in terms of the galaxy?
Oh, in the unknown regions.
Yeah. What was the name of the island Luke was on? Can you tell me that?
Oh, isn't it Temple Island?
Yeah,
something really simple like that.
Yeah. What else would you find on the island in terms of structures and places?
I mean, there's the that big hole.
Mm-hmm. And there was a big hole. Yeah,
the big hole. What else was it? There's a lot of like temples and monuments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
More than just one. There's the old dead tree with books in.
Yeah, the tree library. Yeah.
Yeah. There's all the nuns.
Yeah, the caretaker village. Very nice.
Yeah.
What kind of creatures would you find on Acto?
Oh, are you gonna make me name them? I don't actually.
Yes, of course I am.
Well, obviously there are the porgs.
Yeah, that's the first one.
But I don't remember what the big booby dinosaurs are. I don't remember what they're called.
Okay. Well, you've got porgs. You've mentioned the caretakers, whose full name is the Lanai caretakers.
Oh,
and then I'll give you half the name. They're called the something sirens. Can you remember the full name?
Oh, don't make booby sirens. Obviously,
that's correct. Yes.
No, what are they called?
They're called the Thala sirens.
Yeah, I was never going to get that. I just remember them as the booby dinosaurs.
Yeah. So you basically got everything there that I've written down. Well done.
Oh, thank you, Charlie.
You've mentioned the big hole in the ground, which leads on to a place called the Mirror Cave. That was the other main location you would find.
The Mirror Cave.
Yeah.
Which actually was a great plot point, which really drove the rest of the series.
Yeah. It really was very significant. So that's all my bullet points. Well done for that. And we go on to question 5, which is, what was so special about the Wren? And with this, I don't mean the old leader of the Knights of Ren. I mean, what was special about his lightsaber?
Well, it was very special in didn't it have a self-destruct sequence built into it if it left his hand?
Yes, that is true.
Which was really cool. Ren was named after the lightsaber, not the other way around.
Yeah, that's true.
So the lightsaber was an ancient artifact called Ren.
Mm-hmm. Who did he claim that the lightsaber used to belong to?
Probably like a Sith Lord from years and years ago. I don't know. I could name 100 of them, but I don't think I'll get them.
Name the most obvious one.
Oh, Darth Vader.
Yep, there we go.
I was about to start riffing on all the Sith Lords I could name up until the first Sith Lord.
Yeah, so there's Darth Plagueis, Darth Ravenar, yeah. There's so many, you know. Darth Vader. We were looking for Darth Vader.
Well, I don't know if it was that obvious. I would have come up with that one first.
So I thought I'd treat you with this because we had one question left over which we couldn't answer when we talked about the Wren. So what I was going to suggest was, since that episode has been released, we actually find out what happens to the Wren, old leader of the Knights of Ren, because a comic was released between our recording of that episode and now. So
fantastic.
Do you want me to tell you about what happened to Ren?
I really do, mate. That was one of the biggest sort of holes for me in the whole Ren saga. Fill me in, mate.
We left him off with Ben Solo had contacted Ren, and by this I mean the guy, not the lightsaber. He contacted Ren and his knights after meeting Snoke, and Snoke said, like, oh, go meet these guys. They're pretty cool. I think you'll like them. Ben trained with them for a while, and whilst he was training, they went to the mine moon of Mimban. So that's a moon which people mine, and it's not like mine moon, like a moomin. Yeah.
What? Moomin Min Mao.
Yeah.
Bow.
So they went there in search of a Sith relic. It doesn't actually specify, I don't think, which one they were looking for, or at least I couldn't find it, what they were looking for particularly. And Ben Solo was shocked to see that Ren ordered the knights to interrogate all the miners. That's people who are mining, not children. And then and then after he interrogated them, he ordered the knights to kill them all. And Ren was very disappointed by what he called Ben's cowardice. But then, before he could do anything about it, Tai and Vo, who were the 2 remaining Jedi, turned up to save the miners. So we've got these 2 Jedi who we didn't know what happened to. They've come back into the fray.
Oh, they're going to be murdered, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Oh, what a waste.
So Ben fought Tai, but was unable to kill them. Disappointed, Ren just killed Tai himself in a very brutal manner. I think he just like snapped his neck or something. It was very, very grim.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. And also at this point, Vo had been overpowered by the Knights of Ren, so he was out of action. He or she, I'm not actually sure what gender these aliens are. Maybe we shouldn't give aliens gender. That's another episode.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. The use of pronouns.
Yeah. So Ren was so disappointed in Ben that they actually had an argument and they fought each other. But in that fight, Ben, that was finally what switched within him, and he finally gave in to the dark side. So in that fight, Ben actually won, and he finished Ren. And as Ren lay there dying, he said that this was the good death that he wanted. And what that refers to is, I don't know if you remember, but all the way back in whatever episode it was about Kylo Ren, when we were talking about him training with the Knights of Ren, they mentioned that he would have to kill someone significant in order to join the Knights of Ren. And I speculated at the time that this was Han Solo, because I thought, oh, that'd be a pretty powerful death. It turns out the significant death was essentially him killing Ren in order to become leader of the Knights of Ren. That was the significance of that death.
And then steal his name.
Yeah. Yep. After killing Ren, Ben took his place as leader of the Knights of Ren, and his first act as leader of the Knights of Ren was to kill Vo, the last remaining Jedi pupil. To show that he'd thoroughly embraced the dark side, instead of being like, you can go, he was just like, nah, gonna kill you now because I'm a bad guy now. And so that's how Ben Solo became Kylo Ren, having thoroughly embraced the dark side. And also what happened to Ren. He's gone, he's dead.
And the other pupils as well.
Yep. Nice little
Wait, so are all of them dead now? All of the pupils?
That we know of, yes. There's still the character from Rebels who, he wasn't a pupil of Luke's, but all the pupils of Luke are dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That sums up that. And yeah, that sums up my questions, except I thought I'd give you a cheeky bonus question for you to quickly answer.
Oh, curveball.
This is very important. This is crucial that you get this right. Who is the only acceptable couple to ship?
Poe and BB-8.
Of course it is. I can't believe you paused for so long.
I just wanted to keep you on tenterhooks, mate.
Well played, sir. I believe that was full marks. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, not quite full marks. Maybe 4.9 out of 5 or 5.9 out of 5 out of 6. Obviously, I didn't get, I still can't remember their name, the booby dinosaurs. I
mean, you kind of got that question in general, like, you did well, you did good.
Did you round up for me?
Yes, I did.
Well, brilliant. Thank you, Charlie. Those questions were actually, they were pretty tough, to be fair. But, I think I got through them in the end.
Oh, nice. Yes, well done.
So my questions go from like very easy to very hard.
Okay.
So, now I'm kind of feeling bad because your questions were easy compared to mine.
Okay, we shall see how I do.
Oh, I remember, guys, as we mentioned at the beginning, you two can play at home. So let us know how many you got out of Charlie's questions.
Oh, God.
A passing mark for Charlie's questions is getting them all right. A passing mark for mine is getting one of them right. Okay, well, I think I've built up my quiz enough to ask you the first question. So question 1, Charlie.
The lights go down.
Yeah. What was the name of the capital of the New Republic, and who was Chancellor at the time of its inception?
Oh.
Remember, you brought this up again yourself, so I thought this would be an easy question because you'd researched it a little bit.
Okay, so the capital, I believe, was Chandrila.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
Okay, and then the leader, not 100% sure, but I feel like it would be Leia, but that might be wrong.
Ooh, do you wanna answer that one again? Remember, I can tell you something. It was a lady.
Okay.
And there were only 2 ladies.
Okay, it'll be Mod
3.
Mothma then. Mod Mothma.
Well, Charlie, you got
case.
that completely correct. Yes,
thank you very much.
Mothma and Chandrila. That's
50% chance of getting it right, and I got it wrong.
Remember, Leia was only a senator in the New Republic.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and Chandrila was the homeworld of Mon Mothma, and that's why we found it hilarious that she...
And Ben Solo's birthplace.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You remember that. Okay, so that's 1 point for you, mate.
Okay.
Question 2. What pulled off C-3PO's arm? And who sacrificed himself for C-3PO?
Oh, God. It was a big, tentacle creature or something, but I can't remember what it was.
Think more in the real world and like of like a creature with I know, a lot of legs.
A lot of legs. Oh, is it like was it like a spider or something? Like
Yeah. Spot on. It was a spice spider.
spice spider. Okay. And then
who sacrificed himself for C3?
Oh yeah, it was another one where you could abbreviate it to like another name or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh man. I wish I'd picked harder questions now.
No. I wish I'd picked easier questions. Mate, you should see the next ones. If you're not getting that one, you are not going to get the next one.
Part of me wants to say Bitly, but that's like the website shortening website, isn't it?
Yeah. But it is E something.
Yeah.
E. Something E.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no, it's something like OT. Oh no, wait, no, that's
nearly.
That's
but with a different letter.
okay.
Wink.
Oki?
No.
Oki?
We're completely going off base here now. No, you're going completely the wrong direction.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just tell you. It was OMR1 or Omri.
Omri, there we go.
You were pretty close, so you know what? Given the way the rest of the quiz is going to go, I'm going to give you that.
Okay. I'm just going to say Omri now and edit it so I got it right. I believe that's Omri.
Wow, Charlie, you're absolutely correct there. Wow, you have
oh wow,
quite
thank
the
you.
mind. Very sharp.
It was
mind.
a complete guess.
So the next one, I'll give you basically on this one, I'll give you a point if you can answer either of them.
Okay.
If you can answer them both, you still get a point, but I'll just be impressed.
Okay.
So, question 3. Where was the crossguard lightsaber first seen in canon? And what battle remnant was the earliest known crossguard found? So I'll give you a little like clue as to what I mean by the question. So when I mean like first seen in canon, where was it like in terms of like our time? You know, where was it first shown?
Was it in something like Knights of the Old Republic or something like that?
No, it's actually a lot simpler than that.
Okay. Was it just in The Force Awakens?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
Spot on. So you get a point.
Thank you.
And you'll know this, mate, because I mentioned it quite a lot. And what battle remnant was the earliest known crossguard lightsaber found?
What battle remnant?
Yeah, so like what it was sort of like it was found at the sort of the battle site of this battle.
Okay.
I've made this way too hard. Yeah, it was the Battle of Malachor.
Okay. Oh, that would have been my second guess had I been able to give you a first.
Well, damn that mind block on that first guess. You could have got to the second guess nice and quick. And this one's a bit of an explainy one.
Okay.
The next one. So you're on 3 out of 3 so far, mate.
Thank you. With a little bit of leeway either side.
Yeah, exactly, mate. You know, leeway is very important here. How uncivilized.
Yeah.
So question 4. What was the first lesson, and I've put lesson in sort of quote marks, that Luke taught Rey?
Okay.
And you can sort of explain it more than anything rather than it being an actual answer.
So was this the one where he had her sit on that rock and get her to reach out, and he was kind of saying, what is the Force? What is the Force?
What is
and
the Force?
It was teaching Rey that the Force doesn't belong to anyone. The Force just is a thing which exists and that we can channel.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly right. I've put in my answer, it's about control. The Force is dangerous, and that the Jedi, or anyone for that matter, doesn't own the Force. So yeah, spot on.
Oh, wow. Nice. Thank you.
Nailed it. I actually thought, because I kind of glossed over it in the last episode because it wasn't really that important and we had quite a lot to talk about anyway. But obviously Luke, when he was talking to Rey originally, said, I'm going to give you 3 lessons. And we only see 2 in the films because the third one was cut. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a bit of in-depth research as to what this third one was and what went on there. But you'll actually be really interested to know what the third one is. So the third lesson is when bandits attack the local village. So, you know, like the deleted scene we went on about, we found funny. That in itself was the third lesson. So the bandits are attacking the village.
Yeah.
And obviously you can see it in the distance. It looks like the village is burning and people are coming in and attacking it. And then Luke says, if Rey helps the villagers, the bandits will come back and in greater numbers.
Don't worry, they'll be back and in greater numbers.
And he says, a true Jedi would let it happen and maintain the balance. The balance being the fine balance between absolute destruction and living. You know, if she got involved and she couldn't dedicate herself to being there all the time, they'd just attack again. So anyway, Rey sprints all the way down to the village of the caretakers, gets there to find Chewie partying with R2-D2 and all the villagers, and probably some porgs. I can't quite remember.
Oh, such a good scene.
Yeah. And then Luke's just already there for some reason, or Luke turns up a bit after her.
Yeah.
Laughing, being like, what are you doing? Put away your lightsaber. This is a party. And then Luke says sorry to her, but that this is essentially the third lesson. Real help comes from real action, not the mystery of some old religion, which I thought was a really nice prequel reference.
Yeah.
You know, like real help comes from sort of the real action that the Jedi wouldn't take.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, they were always apprehensive of the Sith being back. Had they just addressed that, maybe it would have been in a different place.
Sorted, innit? Yeah. And we wouldn't have had 9 films.
But there you go. That is the third lesson and what happened there. But
that's interesting
enough,
that.
Yeah, it really is. Because I didn't actually think it was the third lesson. I knew it was a deleted scene, but I didn't know which one it was. But it was that one. So anyway, this was cut because it painted Luke in an even worse light. And actually, in the I think in the original script, he made Rey cry.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So,
oh man,
it made him out to be this. I mean, personally, I think it would have been a great addition to the film. I think the scene. They say that the comedy was ill-judged. It was put in there for they wanted it in there to add some sort of color to their relationship, and I thought it did. Yeah. I thought that really hammered home how Luke feels about the Jedi and what lengths he's willing to go to make sure they don't actually come back again and stay dead. I mean, I think it's a great scene. I think one of the best deleted scenes that isn't in there, and one of the best scenes probably would have been in the movie for me.
Yeah. What I kind of took from it when I watched the scene was Luke Skywalker essentially saying, like, why do you want me to do anything? I'm just an old man, essentially. Like, why don't you go? Why, like, you need young people to do this, not old men who've been on islands for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's really cool, that.
But yeah, no, so again, filling in the third lesson. But yeah, I think it's a good lesson, and I think it should have been in the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, you know, and then the second lesson was about, I can't actually remember, to be honest. I think it was about the hubris of the Jedi and how that eventually they basically destroyed themselves, essentially.
Yeah. That's what it was, really.
I think that was mainly the second lesson. But yeah, there you go. So, like you filled in the Ren thing, mate. I filled in that.
Oh, nice.
We're filling in gaps.
Nice little gap, yeah.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Okay, so that brings us nicely to the last question, which is question number 5.
Oh, no. I almost forgot we were doing a quiz. It was kind of nice just sitting back for a moment.
I know, mate. I know. I'm really sorry about this question.
Okay.
So, what was the name of the former Empire captain who requisitioned, stole, he stole this, Darth Vader's helmet?
Oh. Oh. Oh, man. I know what the story is because it's the story of
If you
he
can
stole it.
if you can tell me the story, mate, I'll give you the point.
So he stole it from the Battle of Endor after
Yeah.
that all happened. Then years and years later, the bounty hunter whose name I can't remember, but she was in The Force Awakens. She's the one who's alerts the First Order.
Yeah.
So she alerts the First Order. But she was commissioned by a mysterious benefactor, who we assume is Kylo Ren, to go find this guy. And is that the one who's on in a stormtrooper retirement home or something?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
yeah.
Which is now a mental institution.
Yeah. So no idea who the guy is or what his name is, but that's the story at least.
Yeah, exactly. And that's basically how it ends up in Kylo Ren's possession as well.
Yeah.
As well, everyone knows by this point, listeners.
Yeah, I'm going to do a wild stab in the dark and say General Helmet Hoarder.
Well, actually, mate, it's funny you say that because actually, it's Captain Chess Guard Calrissian. So no, it's not really. No, his name is Jaw Tribulus.
Oh,
Captain Jaw Tribulus.
That does ring a bell. At least it's not something and I'd be nope, still don't know.
Exactly. Oh, well, anyway, and that sort of rounds up my questions. Apart from, I also did a bonus question purely because...
you cheeky bugger, you.
I know, purely because when we were talking about this before we started recording, you told me you did a bonus question and I was jealous.
Okay. Not petty at all.
Yeah. And the question is this, Charlie. In what episode does Charlie, you, refer to our favourite character as Ben Ren Kylo Solo, to much amusement from Spencer, me?
Oh, that was... I need to think how we did them. So Kylo Ren's episodes were 3 and 4, I think.
Yeah.
Therefore, me saying that would be... it'll either be the beginning... No, it'll either be the end or... is it the end of episode 2? Oh, man. I'm gonna take a wild stab in the dark and say the end of episode 3.
Well. You are correct. It is episode 3.
Thank you very much. Is it the beginning or the end? It'll be the end, I think, won't it?
Yeah, it's the end. It's the end.
Oh,
it's
nice.
the end of episode 3.
That was good. I'm such a comedy genius. My God.
Yeah, that was one of the best things you've ever said and will ever say.
Yeah.
So, you're pretty good, mate. You're pretty good.
Should have just ended the podcast there, to be honest.
I know.
Star Wars podcast completed it, mate.
Yeah, Ben Ren Kylo Solo.
Yep.
That was great. Made me also think that, he kind of had to come up with a new name because being called Ben Ren would be a bit comical.
Yeah.
Or Kylo Solo.
That's true. He had to pick one or the other.
Yeah. No, good names. But yeah, that brings us nicely to a close. And actually, we both got full marks on each other's quiz.
Excellent. Very, very diplomatic.
Yeah, I think so. And anyone who's doing the quiz at home and wants to share with us, please comment on Facebook, Twitter, or any of the various, even on YouTube. Let us know how many questions you got right. We really want to
Reddit
know.
if you want to. We're there as well.
Yeah, I don't know if you can leave comments on Apple Podcasts, but if you can, let us know.
Yeah.
And also let us know if you have any questions for us.
Absolutely.
Anything, you want us to be looking at next. The world is our oyster. We are actually, after recording this podcast, we're going to be in conference about what it is we're going to be doing next.
Yes. We've reached the end of the Charlie questions saga, and now it's time to move on to something new.
It certainly is. And hopefully we can still keep you very much entertained and on the edge of your seats.
Absolutely.
With a bit more Star Wars lore. And we might be going away from the new trilogy. We might be sticking around. Mm-hmm. There is so much of Star Wars to delve into and look at. And us as the two mellow fellows that we are.
Yes.
Are
two cool dudes.
No, yeah. So, thank you for everyone who's been listening to us on our 10-episode journey. Thank you for staying this far to episode 10. It's really nice knowing that we're actually getting some listens, because I know we are. I've seen YouTube. I see the 3 views.
Yeah.
There's one each for us, mate. There's at least one person listening.
Yeah, there's only 2 of us. That must mean there's at least one other person listening to these things.
But yeah, we really do appreciate everyone that's been following us and supporting us recently. And shout out to all the other podcasts out there that are that we're following and who's decided to follow us back on Twitter and all the other places. The podcast community seems to be a really loving and welcoming place.
Yes, we've been welcomed into it with loving arms, and it's very nice to.
Yeah, definitely
made us feel very good, very well appreciated.
Hopefully, we can entrench our place in the podcast community. And here's to episode 20, Charlie. May we get there in many minutes.
Absolutely, done 10, next 20. Before you know it, 100. Will people be listening then? Who knows?
Who knows? But thank you for sticking with us on this journey, and we will catch you guys next time for the next episode of How Uncivilized.
How Uncivilized was created by Charlie Feasby Switzerland and some other random guy in a hole.
And scene.
See you guys later.
Bye, Spencer. Thanks for listening to episode 10 of How Uncivilized. With all of Charlie's questions over and done with, we now enter the unknown regions of How Uncivilized. Let us know what you would like us to talk about in the future, and look out for our future releases coming soon.
You, sir, can find us, sir, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Reddit, sir. How Uncivilized was created, produced, and edited by Charlie Finn Feasby and Spencer Law Santeca Lawrence.